A few years ago, I had a trip coming up. Everything was set, date was finalized, destination was locked, and I had more than enough points to cover it, but I did not use them. I kept thinking, what if a better redemption comes along? So I just paid the $1,000 cash instead. And 6 months later, that program quietly devalued. The redemption that I had in mind now costs 40% more. This was Delta, by the way. And then I realized that I don't have a points problem. What I had was a decision making problem. So if you ever sat there wondering, should I use my points here or should I save them? That's exactly what this video is about, because that hesitation is costing you. So here's how I think about this points versus cash debate. Before we get into it, here's how I personally think about points. For me, points are essentially a way to preserve cash. So if I can pay for travel with points without pulling cash out of my bank account, I'm usually happy to do that, because I would rather invest my cash and grow that money and have the points cover the travel part. But this is not to say that I use points blindly. I still do a quick value check to see if that whole redemption is making sense. And that brings us to the first part. Step one is checking the value of the redemption. So the first thing that I do before making any redemption is checking the cents per point value of that redemption. Now, I'm not someone who obsessively calculates this down to the decimal, but I still use this as a very basic guideline and a baseline to see if using points in this case actually makes sense. I generally try to avoid redemptions that fall below 1 cent per point, because that kind of essentially means that I'm getting a worse value rather than paying cash. And this is only keeping in mind those flexible points currencies like your Bilt, Amex, Chase, and those ones. And thinking about the hotel ones is slightly different here, because the points are inherently and by default valued at lower than 1 cent per point. So this whole logic will kind of not apply to those hotel redemptions. So if you are redeeming these flexible points currencies for less than 1 cent per point, more often than not, that's giving you a worse value than cash. For example, I booked a trip to Disney World recently and I paid cash for that. So when I looked up the flights, the cash fare for two people was $380. So I flew from Newark to Orlando. And when I looked at the same flights, so this was United, when I looked at the same flights using United Miles, it was 15,000 points one way per person, which means for the round trips for two people, I would have been paying essentially 60,000 points, which is equivalent of $600 in cash. This was an easy decision. In this case, paying cash clearly made more sense. So whenever such a situation comes around, I simply ask myself if I am getting that decent baseline value, and if I'm getting below that threshold, which generally is 1 cent per point, I usually just pay cash. Step two, don't wait around for a perfect redemption. This might actually be the most important question to ask yourself. If I don't use these points now, when am I realistically going to use them? Because honestly, a lot of the people in the points hobby fall into the trap of saving their points for this perfect hypothetical redemption, maybe a first class to somewhere nice, or maybe a dream vacation that they've always wanted to take. But if that trip isn't actually planned, those points can just sit there for years. And meanwhile, all these points programs constantly keep devaluing their point systems. So my rule is pretty simple. If I have a real trip coming up that I'm actively planning and it is offering a reasonable kind of redemption, I just use my points for that, because points are meant to enable travel, not to be saved up like cash. By the way, I also created this free points redemptions tracker that I use to track my credit cards, annual fees, and points. And that also calculates CPP, which is a good starting point, like we discussed in this video. So if you're interested, you can grab it from the pinned comment below. And back to the video now. Step three, does this type of trip favor points? So the next thing that I consider is that what kind of a trip is this? Because certain types of trips, in my opinion, are naturally better for points. For example, international tickets, in my case, are almost always booked with points, even in economy, because international tickets in general are much more expensive than domestic. So it just makes sense for me to save all that cash and put it towards my international trips, especially if you have specific travel dates. So using points there can definitely save a significant amount of cash. Another situation where points can be incredibly helpful is to book one-way trips. Now, if you've ever tried to book one-way trips using cash, you know that the price that they charge you on those one-way trips is actually almost 70 to 80% of what they charge you for round-trip tickets. So that way, points will give you that flexibility, because with points, you don't have a situation like that more often than not. So I find that flexibility to be really valuable. If you're doing a multi city itinerary, which I actually like to do since I have this flexibility with my points, trust me, it adds this nice flavor to your trip and it also gives you all this flexibility. And in terms of value, I think that's a little hard to capture because it cannot be quantified as such. But I still think that overall, in terms of convenience and in terms of giving your travel an upgrade, this really helps you out. Step 4, points balances matter too. Another thing that influences my decision is how many points do I have available. Most of the time, when I get some credit cards or earn those sign up bonuses, it's usually with a specific trip in mind. So when that trip comes around, I'm pretty happy to spend those points. But in general, if I do have a lot of points, I'm more inclined to spend points rather than spend cash. Again, same principle because I would rather keep my cash invested and points are the currency that I want to use to put towards my travel. The only time I might hold back is when I know that there's another trip coming up after this next one where using points is going to give me better value. And only in that case, I would use cash. But overall, I definitely prioritize putting points forward first so that I can keep my cash invested. But if a future trip is just like a maybe and I'm not really sure if that will be planned or not, I tend not to hoard my points at all and go forward with using those points. In my opinion, the biggest mistake that people make is obsessing over cents per point value. And don't get me wrong, when I first started doing this, I used to think that I'm making the worst redemptions because I would use my points for domestic flights also because I did not have any international flights planned. But overall, I think it just makes sense if it makes sense for you, and that's what matters. There's this idea that a good redemption is only that first class or that business class seat that you're able to book with your points, and I do not agree with that because I have booked my fair share of economy seats with my points, and I really think that it has helped me travel more because those seats actually also go for like $1,500 round trip. So booking it for two people, I have saved like $3,000 just in flights. So that is real savings. And waiting forever for that perfect redemption can actually backfire because programs constantly devalue their points and change their award charts. So it's in your best interest to use your points sooner rather than later. So if I had to simplify this whole framework into one sentence, it would be this. If there's a redemption that gives me 1 cent per point or better, and it's for a trip that I actually know that I will be taking soon and not just a hypothetical trip, I am usually happy to spend my points on that. Even if it's economy, even if it's not the most glamorous redemption, because at the end of the day, those points are helping me travel more while saving my cash. And that's really the whole point. The goal of this hobby is not to collect points forever. It's to have those points enable real travel. So instead of chasing perfect redemptions every time, I just chase my goal, which is just to travel more. And that's the framework that I keep coming back to. That's it for this one. I hope you found it helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.